I-405 Corridor Coalition includes Costa Mesa, Fountain Valley, Huntington Beach, Los Alamitos, Westminster, and Seal Beach, and have been fighting for the last several years to keep our freeways free. Before joining the Assembly, I spent 2 years on the OCTA Board of Directors fighting to keep our toll lanes off of our freeways. Now that this fight has moved to Sacramento, and I am pleased to be co-authoring legislation with my colleague Assemblywoman Young Kim to protect the will of Orange County residents and to always keep our freeways free. As we all know, the 405 is the most congested, one of the most congested freeways in Southern California. It is imperative that we expand the freeway with 2 lanes in each direction so that all of residents of Orange County will benefit. The 405 was the first public freeway in Orange County facing the addition of toll lanes. If we allow this to happen, the 405 will not be the last. The decision to build toll lanes on the 405 as a public freeway is a first step for Caltrans and California Transportation Commission to build toll lanes on every freeway in Orange County. We are teetering on the edge of a slippery slope that will soon impact every resident and every driver in Orange County. As a member of the Assembly Transportation Committee, Assemblywoman Young Kim has the leadership position to significantly impact transportation policy and protect all of Orange County residents from this crippling double tax. This legislation is imperative to protect all of our public freeways countywide and keep our Orange County freeways free. I would like to introduce my friend Diana Carey from the City of Westminster, a corridor city representative who has been involved in this fight for 10 years. Diana Carey.
Thank you, Assemblyman Harper. I am Diana Carey. I am the Corridor Cities representative, and for the first time right now we have the opportunity to add 2 free lanes to each side of the freeway. But the OCTA and Caltrans are ignoring that in favor of adding toll lanes and taking away a free HOV lane. And as the historian here, in 2005, the toll option was removed from consideration prior to the cities signing on to the reauthorization of M2, and now they put it back again. The voters in M2 voted to add 1 additional lane to the 5 lanes that we already have. With the toll plan, what happens is this: we will have the same number of free lanes that we have on the freeway today, and that is 5. And that is after we have spent $1.3 billion of M2 taxpayer money, and that is unacceptable. They have to spend the $1.3 billion to rebuild all 17 of the bridges, and we will be receiving nothing in return for that. That is not what was promised to the taxpayers of the county. Toll lanes have been rejected time and time again. We've had almost 100 outreach meetings, and toll lanes are unacceptable. This is a breach of the public trust, and that is why this legislation is so important. And I do want to be clear, the corridor cities have been supportive of this project. We're giving our M2 money, we're giving our right-of-way where it is needed. We're going to endure, and I cannot stress the word endure, the hardships of from 7 to 10 years of construction on this project. And I say that because the cities of Seal Beach, Westminster, and Los Alamitos have just completed 4.5 years of construction with the West County connectors. I want the corridor cities and the people to understand that the corridor cities have said enough is enough. It's time to listen to the people. We need more free lanes, not toll lanes. We need to keep our freeways free for the benefit of all of us. And to that end, I want to introduce to you our loyal champion of the corridor cities, who is a director of the OCTA board, and that is a former mayor and current councilman from the city of Seal Beach, Director Carey.
Thank you, Diana. My name is Gary Miller. I'm a member of the Seal Beach Council, and I'm also a member of the OCTA Board of Directors. I've been on the OCTA board for the past 2 years, and I've been working with my colleagues on the corridor cities to keep our freeways free and keep toll lanes off our freeways. Unfortunately, many of my colleagues on the OCTA board continue to ignore the will of the people and are working to allow toll lanes on the 405. They may claim they're against toll lanes, but time after time they've blocked every effort to keep toll lanes off the freeway. Caltrans cannot build toll lanes on this freeway without our taxpayer money. OCTA will not deny Caltrans the benefit of our money. Let me emphasize, it's our money. That's your and my money. This is why we now must take our battle to a higher level, to the state legislature. I am pleased to be here today to lend my support to Assemblyman member Yan Kim, who will not back down from OCTA or Caltrans or the wealthy interests that want their private lane while the rest of us sit in gridlock. Instead, Assembly Member Kim is fighting back for the residents of Orange County. She has introduced Assembly Bill 1459 to the California State Legislature. Her legislation will uphold the intent of the Orange County voters as expressed in drafting and approving Measure M2. OCTA will build free lanes, not toll lanes. This is why I'm so pleased to be here today, standing alongside my colleagues of the corridor cities to applaud and support the courageous leadership of Assembly Member Yan Kim to take our battle to Sacramento. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Assembly Member Yan Kim.
Thank you, Director, very much. Good morning. I'd like to welcome you all this morning to the press conference. I'd like to thank the representatives from the cities for being here and standing with me. As was introduced, I am Assemblywoman Yan Kim, and I'm here in Orange County today to announce my legislation, AB 1459, that will keep our freeways free. Measure M2, approved by the Orange County voters, included hundreds of millions of dollars to widen the 405 freeway from Costa Mesa to County Line. Despite the local animosity towards toll lanes, and despite the fact that the OCTA Board of Directors has rejected toll lanes twice, Caltrans, the transportation agency, has released their decision to build a toll lane on the 405 freeway. As Assemblymember Harper mentioned, this decision is a first step for Caltrans and California Transportation Commission to build toll lanes on every freeway in Orange County. We're right on the edge of a dangerous, slippery slope, and if we do not fight back now, every resident and every driver in Orange County will be forced to pay a toll to stay out of the traffic. We cannot allow our freeways to become a money-making scam. Our freeways must remain free. Caltrans is going to piggyback off of the millions of dollars that Orange County residents have paid in sales tax dollars for this project. We cannot allow this to happen. Without our local money, Caltrans could not afford to widen the 405 freeway on their own. The only reason that Caltrans is able to build the toll lanes is because of the sales tax that Orange County residents voted to impose on themselves. By forcing toll lanes in Orange County, Caltrans is forcing drivers to pay a double tax in order to reap the benefits of the freeway widening. Toll lanes will only benefit the wealthy people who can afford to spend $5,000 per year to ride them on a daily basis. Toll lanes are an affront to the hardworking residents of the county and of the corridor cities who cannot afford $5,000 per year, and they will be forced to remain in gridlock in the same number of free lanes. In the state of California, congestion management is critical. I get that. And the congestion management process is a systematic approach developed to provide for the safe and effective management and operation of our local, state, and federal transportation facilities. I I currently sit on the Assembly Transportation Committee, and I recognize that toll lanes are one option that can be used to address congestion management. However, in Orange County, where voters have agreed to tax themselves for transportation improvements and did not approve toll lanes as an eligible use of funds, it is not appropriate to force toll lanes on the residents. My legislation will return control to those who voted to tax themselves to fund this project, the Orange County residents. The state of California does not have the right, nor do they have the authority to leverage over $1 billion in local money to build a project that was not approved by the residents of the county. My legislation will uphold the intent of the voters of Orange County and will allow the voters to make that decision. We cannot allow local or state bureaucrats to force toll lanes down our throats. It is the decision of the residents of Orange County, not of Sacramento. My legislation will require any toll lane that is being proposed to be built on a public freeway in Orange County to be approved by the vote of the same people. Because the language of Measure M2 did not include toll lanes as an eligible expenditure, it is only fair that the same voters who approved Measure M2 get to decide if toll lanes should be included as an eligible use of their sales tax dollars. Let the residents of Orange County decide. It is their money. It is their decision. Thank you very much, and we will entertain some questions if you have any, and I would like to ask anyone here also to chime in helping that out. Thank you very much.